I thought after 86 Ministry of Health meetings, you would not be interested at all in what I had to say. Gary, congratulations. What a wonderful honor. Well deserved. Thank you to AMO President Robin Jones, Cousin Jones, and the members of the AMO board for an opportunity to be able to speak to you once again this year. Municipalities play a key role in our healthcare system, and our government is grateful for your partnership in building healthier, stronger communities across Ontario. Under the leadership of Premier Ford, our government continues to make record investments to protect and strengthen Ontario's world-class healthcare system, something we should all be proud of. Since I spoke to you last year, we have made significant progress through bold and innovative action to make it easier for patients and their families to access care closer to home. With our primary care action plan, supported by a historic investment of more than $2.1 billion, our goal is to transform frontline healthcare in each of your communities by connecting everyone in Ontario to a publicly funded primary care provider by 2029. It is an ambitious goal, but this year alone, our government has announced over 130 new and expanded primary care teams focusing on communities with the highest number of residents without a primary care provider. These teams will connect 300,000 more people in every corner of Ontario to reliable healthcare services tailored to their local needs. Take Temiskaming Shores, for example, where the Great Northern Family Health Team will be attaching more than 3,300 people to world-class care. Or in London, where the Thames Valley Family Health Team will be attaching more than 11,500 people to stable primary care. The impacts of our investments have already been felt in your communities. Since January of this year, the Health Care Connect waitlist, the waitlist where people are literally looking for a primary care provider, has dropped by more than 30%. We are so motivated to keep that momentum going. With the next round of primary care expansion launching this fall, we are well on our way to attaching every Ontarian to a connected and convenient care they deserve. We also know that we need a strong and growing healthcare workforce to support this ambitious plan. That is why, since taking office, our government has added a record-breaking number of nearly 100,000 new nurses and over 15,000 new doctors registered and licensed and practicing in Ontario. While these are great achievements, we recognize that more needs to be done. And that's why we're pushing forward with the largest medical school expansion in Ontario's history, opening 2 new medical schools, the Toronto Metropolitan University School of Medicine in Brampton that has already taken on their students and starting in September, and of course York University's new medical school in Vaughan, the first in Canada that will be focused on training family physicians. We are also creating more opportunities for Ontarians to study and build their careers right here at home. Over the next 3 years, more than 1,300 eligible students who commit to practicing family medicine in Ontario will receive free tuition, helping retain more healthcare professionals in our communities. However, there's always a however in health. However, we know some communities face particular challenges in attracting healthcare professionals. To address this, we are taking action to get more physicians where they are needed most, through adjustments to medical school placements, investments in the Northern Ontario School of Medicine, and by providing financial incentives like the Northern and Rural Recruitment and Retention Initiatives. We are encouraging doctors to set up full-time practices in underserved communities. The demand for healthcare only continues to grow. That's why we are using every tool available to attract more healthcare workers now. Through Practice Ready Ontario, we have been breaking down barriers for internationally trained physicians so they can start serving patients in communities that need them most faster than ever before. We've also made it easier for U.S. licensed nurses and physicians to begin practicing in Ontario immediately, taking advantage of those conditions south of the border that make Ontario even a more attractive place to live, work, and build a career in healthcare. Supporting local healthcare also means expanding and modernizing our hospitals and local healthcare facilities. That's why our government has been investing nearly $60 billion in critical healthcare infrastructure projects, something that many of you raised in our meetings. As part of our plan to get shovels in the ground on more than 50 major hospital developments across Ontario, these projects will deliver approximately 3,000 new hospital beds on top of the 3,500 we have already added since 2020. This year, we're also investing $100 million in additional hospital planning grants and up to $1.1 billion in additional hospital funding. This is a record 4% increase in funding to the hospital sector for a third consecutive year. And today, I am pleased to announce that our government is continuing to support municipalities with almost $1 billion in land ambulance funding, representing an average increase of 8.7% over 2024. Along with our $33 million investment in dedicated offload nursing program and by fostering innovation collaboration between hospitals and emergency services, most particularly our paramedic services, we have seen provincial ambulance offload times decline by nearly 65% since October of 2022. It's working. Our investments have also supported the growth and long-term sustainability of the community paramedicine program, with our government providing nearly $90 million in dedicated annual funding for these vital programs. Community paramedicine has enhanced local capacity and supported timely and appropriate care in your communities. With paramedics using their training and their expertise in non-emergency roles, we have reduced hospital readmission and emergency department wait times, all while improving patient outcomes. Another key to relieving pressure on hospitals has been expanding home care. Our government's $4 billion annual investment has boosted pay for personal support workers, for nurses, and other frontline providers, supporting an 18% increase in home care hours over the last 2 years. These investments are providing Ontarians in your community with more care than ever before. And as a result, we are seeing alternative level of care volumes at their lowest level in over a decade, while the need continues, which is freeing up beds and allowing people to get better, faster in their homes where they want to be. While we are making great progress in helping people heal at home and freeing up space in our hospitals, we are also turning our attention to another critical issue: supporting those struggling with homelessness and addiction. Last year at AMO, our government announced the creation of 19 homelessness and addiction recovery treatment hubs, supported by a $378 million investment. These hubs will provide comprehensive mental health, addiction, and social services support, along with supportive housing to some of our most vulnerable residents, ensuring they help protect children and families while enhancing community safety. Earlier this year, I was proud to announce that we were able to announce 9 more Heart Hubs because of the interest from you, bringing the total to 28 across Ontario and increasing funding to nearly $550 million, reflecting the growing needs for those services across Ontario. In April, the Heart Hubs transitioning from drug injection sites opened their doors as planned and have been providing treatment and recovery services to help people reclaim their lives and break the cycle of addiction. We continue to work with the remaining hubs to support their openings in the coming weeks and months, bringing more comprehensive services, including supportive housing, in communities in need. Together, we are building close to 900 supportive housing units, which is over 300 more than originally anticipated, helping people transition to stable, long-term housing. Our investment in Heart Hubs and your commitment to Heart Hubs will strengthen communities and ensure that we have safer and stronger communities by connecting individuals with the care and support they need where and when they need it. We know there is more to do, and I am reminded of a friend who said, "Nothing transformational happens in healthcare without willing partners." So thank you for being that willing partner. And under the leadership of Premier Ford, we will continue to build on our progress together to ensure Ontario families can connect to the care they need no matter where they live for years to come. Thank you again for your time and everything you do as municipal leaders to support community health and well-being across Ontario. Stay well.
Thank you, Minister. Now, please welcome the Honourable Kinga Surma, Minister of Infrastructure.
Thank you so much. It's so nice to be back here at AMO, and thank you to the entire AMO team, including the President, Rob Jones, and the City of Ottawa for hosting us once again. I've had the opportunity to attend AMO and speak many times. I remember how challenging things were during COVID. Municipalities needed rapid responses to help provide safe services. Coming out of COVID to an economy with high inflation and supply chain challenges, municipalities recognized that more funding had to be invested in infrastructure to meet the needs of Ontarians. A massive shortage of housing and declining housing starts further propagated the need for infrastructure investment to remove the financial burden from the home buyer. Every step of the way, our government has responded and provided assistance quickly. This year, we too have many challenges before us. We're facing unprecedented tariffs from the United States, increasing global instability, and a volatile market. And all of this is compounded by the pressures of Ontario's growing population. While the future looks uncertain, we know its outcome depends on the actions that we take today. For me, one action will determine where we find ourselves in years to come: securing our infrastructure capacity now. As Ontario's Minister of Infrastructure, my focus is to build roads and bridges and increase capacity in water and wastewater systems to support the construction of new homes across our growing communities. Many of you may wonder why we would ever do such a thing when housing starts are lagging. And I would say to those with doubts, we need to build the infrastructure capacity that we know we will need so that we are ready when the market rebounds. Because it will. It may not happen tomorrow, but it will rebound. Our government is moving quickly with the needed investments to make it possible for you to get the works to tender now and to start signing contracts. With our government's record investments, more than $200 billion over the next decade, including $33 billion this year alone, there is a lot to build in every corner of Ontario. As you heard Premier Ford announce yesterday, we are nearly doubling our investments in the Municipal Housing Infrastructure Program, bringing the total to approximately $4 billion to help unlock even more homes, in addition to the approximately 800,000 that we will unlock with our already announced pipeline of projects. These investments are supporting critical projects, including $35 million for the wastewater treatment plant expansion in Carleton Place, which will enable more than 1,600 new homes, $139 million for the expansion of wastewater servicing capacity in York Region, which will enable 8,000 new homes, $70 million for the town of Collingwood's Raymond Baker Water Treatment Plant expansion, enabling more than 59,000 new homes, and $2.9 million for the town of Perth Wastewater Lagoon Capacity Expansion Project, which will enable 2,500 new homes. With Ontario's population projected to increase by 4 million people by 2051, the equivalent of almost 4 cities the size of Ottawa, we know that the new infrastructure funding is greatly needed to boost our housing supply. In addition to our record investments, we're also cutting costs to get homes built faster and help keep the dream of homeownership alive in this great province. Because it's too expensive to build homes and the process needs to change, we put in place a new law this spring, the Protect Ontario by Building Faster and Smarter Act, which will reduce costs and speed up project approvals with consistent building construction standards. Since we met at AMO last year, we've made significant progress in our plan to build to protect Ontario. We launched a $175 million health and safety water stream to guarantee communities have access to safe drinking water and reliable wastewater services, especially during extreme weather events. I look forward to announcing the results this fall. We announced 50 new water infrastructure projects that will help unlock approximately 86,000 new homes across 55,000 communities. And 2 irrigation projects in Niagara Region and Leamington. I was pleased to join my colleagues, Minister Trevor Jones and Sam Oosterhoff, along with 6 local mayors and Regional Chair Jim Bradley in Niagara Falls last week, to announce $82 million to support our farming sector, boost crop production, protect jobs, and bolster our economic resilience. This investment will help farmers in Niagara and Leamington grow more Canadian fruits and veggies. We also released the latest market update, which included 28 major projects. This included projects that will help keep communities safe, like the Eastern Ontario Correctional Complex in Kemptville, with additional new projects in planning like the OPP Academy in Orillia and Ontario Place College in Elmer. Over the past year, we've also started construction on the redevelopment of the Prince Edward County Memorial Hospital in Picton and the new hospital for Winnebago Area Health Authority in Moosonee. And that's not all. We're also delivering nearly 300 capital repair projects covering every region, ensuring our infrastructure is maintained and modernized across the province. Moving projects forward and keeping our workers on the job will help us get through this difficult time. In fact, our capital plan is estimated to support 91,000 jobs annually, including 52,000 direct construction jobs and 38,000 indirect jobs. Because every worker on the job, every shovel in the ground, every project underway helps us weather this storm. Before I close, I wanted to share that our government will release details about the doubling of the Municipal Housing Infrastructure Program announced by the Mayor. We are also looking at ways to incentivize the construction and operation of water services in more innovative ways. And with that, I will say thank you to my municipal partners for your hard work and collaboration. Our government has always stepped up to be there for municipalities. Now it's your turn to meet the moment and increase our capacity to build. Issue those tenders and sign those contracts. Prepare for future growth. By moving ahead on these shovel-ready projects now, we can seize every opportunity to deliver homes as the market recovers, all while employing hard-working Ontarians. Thank you so much, and have a great conference.
Thank you, Minister. Please welcome Laurie Deschamps, President of the Oshkosh Pamachewin, the Wenjack Education Institute, along with Marcia Josephs, Executive Director of the Indigenous Institutes Consortium, for a discussion on Indigenous
Good afternoon, everyone. Obviously, a great pleasure to be here in Ottawa, the largest AMO convention yet. So congratulations to AMO on the job well done. It truly is an honor to be here addressing you as Municipal Affairs and Housing Minister, to you, the dedicated leaders who keep Ontario's 444 municipalities strong, vibrant, and growing. Let me begin by extending my sincere thanks to Robin Jones, who I've gotten to know very well, and the entire AMO board for organizing this year's event. Robin, your advocacy, your sincere and open dialogue, and your leadership has been absolutely outstanding. Thank you very much. Please give Robin a great round of applause. And congratulations, Brian Rossborough, a veteran, on your retirement after 6 years as Executive Director. And a special congratulations now to Lindsay Jones, who I am confident will help guide, shepherd, and support AMO in a very, very distinguished way. So congratulations to both of you. Friends, colleagues, we are moving decisively together because we know our challenges in this province are real. From the economic threats tied to Trump tariffs to supply chain uncertainties, it is abundantly clear these are not ordinary times. We are in, and I emphasize, we are in a generational housing crisis, the likes of which we have never experienced before. As such, people across Ontario expect our governments at all levels to rise to the challenge. Fortunately, we have a strong record and an economy to back that up. It is important to note just how far we have come since our government was first elected. Since day one, we have been cutting red tape, strengthening protections for renters, streamlining approvals, holding everyone accountable for results, including ourselves, and creating the conditions to get shovels in the ground faster. These comprehensive measures have helped us hold our ground under extremely difficult global conditions. Together, this process and our progress shows how far we have come, and it proves that when we work together, we can deliver real and positive change for the people of this great province. In our first session after the election, we have introduced 4 important pieces of legislation. Let us start with the Safer Municipalities Act. Now law, it will ensure that public spaces remain welcoming and safe because our parks should be places for everyone to enjoy, not places to be feared. Next was the Municipal Accountability Act. The committee traveled to London, Niagara Falls, Ottawa, Whitby, and Thunder Bay, right across this province, hearing testimony from residents, municipal leaders, and all stakeholders. We look forward to walking through Bill 9, clause by clause this fall, and debating some of the improvements you have asked us to deliver. Having one code of conduct consistent across all municipalities is close to being law. Thank you for your constant and persistent advocacy. Well done to you. Well done. Finally, I want to talk about Bill 17, the Protect Ontario by Building Faster and Smarter Act. Now law, it will play a pivotal role in how we create the conditions to build more housing for a growing population, now 16 million people strong. We are deferring non-rental residential DCs until occupancy, so the math works for builders, large and small, and new construction remains viable. And we are eliminating DCs for long-term care homes to make it even easier to build these necessary forms for the people that built our communities. However, We know, yes, that's a good one. Minister Kusindova-Bash is very happy sitting over there. However, we know that these municipalities, that you municipalities rely on these funds to pay for needed infrastructure. After all, you cannot build homes without sidewalks, roads, water systems, and more. That is why we are ensuring that you still have the resources you need to grow your communities in a safe and responsible way by exploring new innovative models for water and wastewater infrastructure. Just this summer, we started exploring a municipal service corporation for the Peel region. We must and we will find ways to accelerate building infrastructure while maintaining public ownership. After all, there is only one taxpayer, and the tax burden, in our opinion, they carry today is too expensive. Just yesterday, Premier Ford announced that Minister Surma will be increasing the municipal housing infrastructure program by $1.6 billion, now a total of $4 billion. This funding represents more homes and more opportunities for Ontario families to thrive. This is what the doctor ordered. Over this summer, the Premier and I have had the great opportunity to unveil some big checks across the province with the Building Faster Fund. It's encouraging for me to experience the pride and enthusiasm each of you have for your cities, your towns, your villages, and rural communities. The Building Faster Fund, which rewards municipalities that are getting homes built faster with more funding for needed infrastructure, is important. As we move forward, again, as we look to the future here, we are going to be considering new ways to extend and improve the Building Faster Fund. That includes ensuring the fund reflects the new markets we are in, as well as encouraging municipalities to cut development charges and get shovels in the ground on key infrastructure projects. Stay tuned for more details after, and I repeat after, consultation with AMO, Ontario's big city mayors, and all their caucuses. Now is not the time to be building cash reserves or waiting for dollars from other levels of government. Now is the time to act, and now is the time to build. We cannot sit idly by while our costs go up. For every new home delayed, an electrician, a plumber, a carpenter, and a laborer goes home. This is not good enough. We must keep workers working and protect Ontario by building homes faster. Of course, protecting Ontario must also include protecting our most vulnerable. We heard this loud and clear in our delegations. This past March, we secured a $1.5 billion in new federal funding commitments through the National Housing Strategy. This fund will help us expand supportive and affordable housing, provide more rent supplements, and reduce homelessness right across Ontario. We will continue to closely work with our municipal housing partners province-wide to ensure supports reach those who need it most, period. We know that the landscape we face today is very different compared to just a few years ago. The uncertainty in the housing market has caused buyers to hit the pause button. We've experienced this right across the province. Market realities never lie. This we know, and questions linger. Questions such as, will the federal government eliminate the HST in new homes? Will interest rates come down? Will prices drop further? These are the questions that we face. And these are the questions that leave us in a stalled position or in a state of limbo. The bottom line, we need clear and decisive answers, and we need them quickly. Municipal, provincial, and federal governments do not build homes. Builders do. All levels of government need to create better conditions to kickstart our housing sector. Getting out of the way with needless red tape, and yes, getting out of the way of NIMBYism, is a great start to enable home builders to do what they do best, and that is build. Many of you have heard me say time and time as I've gone on my listening and learning tour across the province, it takes too long and it costs too much to build a home in Ontario. Looking ahead, we are working together from Toronto to Timmins, from Windsor to Wawa, from Prescott to Pembroke, and from Red Lake to Richmond Hill to keep the dream of home ownership alive. After all, home ownership is the quintessential Canadian dream, and our government will always defend and protect that dream. Together, our team including Minister Smith and our outstanding parliamentary assistants, Matt Ray, Brian Saunderson, and Laura Smith, will continue to take bold actions in partnership with you. As has been said, it is not what you accomplish in life, it's what you overcome. And under the proven leadership of Premier Ford, our Cabinet and our caucus remain steadfast in protecting Ontario. Thank you for your time and attention. Please join me in welcoming my Cabinet colleagues to the stage for the Ministers' Forum. All the very best. Well done.